Google's Pixel Watch 2 holds the line on design, but swaps out key components for better performance, a brighter screen, and a longer battery life that beats most Apple Watches. It also adds useful health, fitness, and safety features that work while I practice. All this could make it a clear contender for the best Fitbit device, best Wear OS watch, and depending on your phone's operating system, best smartwatch overall. Google Pixel Watch 2 Design. Google's original Pixel Watch was one of the best-looking smartwatches on the market, and its successor, the Google Pixel Watch 2, measures up to that standard. The newly thinner glass cover and recycled aluminum body still look like they were poured out together. Its gumdrop shape looks and generally feels good. While lowering the overall weight by about 10%, Google didn't touch the dimensions of the one-size-fits-all 41mm watch. There is one change that does incrementally improve the aesthetic appeal. Google redesigned the digital crown, mostly by changing the stem that leads to it, to give it a more watch-like look and, more importantly, make it easier to use it. Google didn't make any changes to the sometimes challenging band attachment system, but there are some new bands, including 6 fitness bands. I didn't get to wear them, but I can report that the material felt nice. Even though the back of the watch is aluminum, the lack of a sturdy bezel is still a little concerning. It makes me a little paranoid about catching the watch on something. The watch is very light, so if you're used to something like a Garmin or a largely metal Samsung with a bit more heft, the Pixel Watch may feel a bit toyish for a while. However, the 41mm screen's wraparound pebble-inspired black bezel makes it very pleasing to operate, and the AMOLED screen is bright and smooth with a slick refresh rate. This pleasant design extends to the UX, with assistant actions and tiles available via horizontal swipes of the watch face. It's customizable, so you can put favorites like weather, calendar, and quick start Fitbit workouts here, and a full list of apps accessible by pressing the digital crown. Nice and simple to navigate and operate, yet tile swiping isn't quite as satisfying as navigating WatchOS 10e's new widget stack. Google Pixel Watch 2 Wear OS software. Google hasn't made huge improvements with its Wear OS 4.0 software, but there's some notable upgrades. There's now dedicated Gmail and calendar apps for staying on top of your inbox and schedule directly on your wrist. They join the exciting collection of Google apps, including Google Maps, YouTube Music, Google Home, and Google Pay. In terms of Android smartwatches, there are none that are as comprehensively integrated with the Google ecosystem as the Pixel Watch 2. Now, you can also access fitness information using Google Assistant, or simply use the Assistant for queries and sending messages. There's also a new at-a-glance watch face complication that can curate helpful information based on what you might want to see at a certain time of day. Otherwise, there's a collection of customizable watch faces that let me personalize my watch's interface. Google Pixel Watch 2 Features. The new quad-core processor definitely results in smooth day-to-day operation. However, some of the biggest changes come from the new Wear OS 4.0, bringing apps like Calendar, Gmail, and an updated Google Assistant into the core Wear OS experience. Users can finally swap to a new phone or watch without factory resetting their wearables now, so you can bounce your Pixel Watch 2 between multiple phones without having to rely on your saved Fitbit account to store all your data or set up your preferences again. Apps like Spotify and Peloton also get in-app improvements. On the health and fitness front, the Pixel Watch 2 will match the Apple Watch Series 9 and Samsung Galaxy Watch 6 to automatically recognize when you start and stop working out. It's one of my favorite Apple Watch features, and I'm happy to see it here. There's a new heart rate zone for runners that can help with pace coaching and alert you when you drop in and out of your personal zone. Speaking of heart, the new multi-path heart rate sensor is actually multiple sensors that, according to Google, can much more accurately track your heart rate during more vigorous workouts. Google claims it's up to 40% more accurate than the original Pixel Watch's optical heart rate sensor, just like the Fitbit Charge 6E's 60% improvement on the Charge 5. It does this by taking the single-point sensor contact of the original Google Pixel Watch and multiplying it into 4 points of wrist contact. There's also a new sweat detector, the SATA, that the watch can use to measure your stress level. In addition to all these health and activity adjustments, the Google Pixel Watch 2 now includes personal safety features. With Safety Check, you set a timer, and if you have not responded by the end of it, the watch can automatically send a message to your emergency contact with your real-time location. These changes all come in addition to Pixel Watch's already impressive list of features, with Fitbit's electrocardiogram heart scanner, the ability ability to use your watch as a viewfinder for your Pixel phone's camera, and all the usual stuff like notification functionalities. And call, accept, and reject. Being able to access and dictate Google Keep notes from my watch, which then syncs to my Google account, is a nifty feature that comes in handy. If you use Keep Notes for shopping lists, ideas, or just as an everyday notepad, wrist access and dictation is terrific. Introducing the new Snapdragon wearable platforms. Google Pixel Watch 2 accurate GPS and a fast processor make it a great smartwatch for Android users. Featuring a Snapdragon W5 Gen 1 wearable platform. Featuring a Qualcomm IPQ4019 system on chip SoC. Google Pixel Watch 2 battery life. I could only get the original Pixel Watch to last 24 hours with the always-on display turned off. Now, Google says you can leave the always-on display enabled and still get a day's worth of juice. This is likely because of the switch to the Qualcomm Snapdragon W5 processor, which not only makes for a more responsive user experience, but is more power efficient than what the Pixel Watch had before. At first, I didn't think this sounded like a true upgrade, but after using the Pixel Watch 2 for continuous location tracking on 6-hour walk, I was pleasantly surprised that the watch lasted the entire time. It only drained about 10% per hour, whereas the first Pixel Watch drained closer to 20% per hour. I do find it weird that the Pixel Watch 2 ditched wireless charging though. This means that the watch needs to be attached to the charging pins in a specific way, or it won't charge. The first generation watch charger is incompatible with the new version 2. Check for potential signs of stress. Body response tracking helps you identify potential signs of stress and manage it in the moment. Tune into your wellness. Track your skin temperature, blood oxygen levels, and more to detect possible changes. Less time logging workouts. More time working out. Auto workout mode automatically starts, pauses, and stops your activities. Notify first responders if you've had a hard fall. Your watch connects to emergency services and even auto dials if you're unresponsive. Pixel devices are even better together. Control your camera from your watch and easily connect your Pixel phone with your buds. Google Pixel Watch 2 review. Verdict: the Google Pixel Watch 2 isn't exactly the smartwatch I was expecting to see. I really had to weigh the pros and cons, and since Google did have this year to learn from initial feedback and make changes, I felt inclined to be a bit tougher on this version 2.0. On one hand, the watch is a big improvement for wellness tracking. It actually feels more like a Fitbit in a lot of ways, and that convergence is probably for the best. The safety features are a big plus as well, and it's important to know that. It'll have Wear OS 4 exclusivity for a while, getting the newly optimized Google Calendar and Gmail apps. Then on the other hand, a lot of people including me have complained about limitations of the size and the bezels, and it's kind of weird to say, but it feels like those concerns weren't heard. However, thinking in terms of the future, it's become pretty clear to me that this is a half-stepping stone to grab the attention of first-gen holdouts. If I had to guess, I think next year will be a big year for Google's smartwatch, with the types of upgrades that directly challenge the Galaxy Watch, maybe even the Apple Watch. Buy it if you're a Pixel user. If you're a Google Pixel phone user, this is probably the best smartwatch for you. You're a regular runner. Enjoy mid-distance running, such as 10-15K on the weekends. This watch will cover you reliably. You're a Fitbit user. If you're already a premium subscriber and enjoy the Fitbit interface, this is the best Fitbit-enabled device money can buy. For more informative videos, Please subscribe Info of Tech.